In 1798, the French archaeologists and artist Vivant Denon sketched the Sphinx, on which one can clearly see how one of the people comes out of a hole in the head of the Sphinx. If we go back to the words of Masudi, who claims to have seen the huge holes, the secret tunnels and the rooms are not the only thing they discovered. Then, for around 10 years, according to official scientists, they developed a robot to open the door in question. What lies beneath the ancient Sphinx? Why, for so many years, we don't have an answer to the question who built the Great Pyramids and the Sphinx that so wonderfully protects them? Are these messages and guidelines from ancient civilizations, but with the idea for us to grow as species? Are there secret codes in the Sphinx for the Great Pyramid and for the underground cities beneath it? Or all this is one well thought out fantasy? We will find out together in the new episode of Secret Origins and the second part of the mystery of the Sphinx. Egyptian archaeologist Rudwan Ash-Shamah believes that there is a female couple under the Sphinx and it's hidden under a layer of sand. The Great Sphinx is often called the father of fear. According to him, if there is a father of fear, then there should be a mother too. In his reasoning, Ash-Shamah relies on the way of thinking of ancient Egyptians, who quickly followed the principle of symmetry. In his eyes, the lonely figure of the Sphinx looks rather strange. The place where, according to the scientists, the second sculpture should be located rises a few meters over the Sphinx. It is logical to assume that the statue is just hidden from our eyes under the sand, says Ash-Shamah. The archaeologist presents few arguments to support his theory. Ash-Shamah reminds that there is a granite stela between the front poles of the Sphinx, which depicts two statues. There is also a limestone tile that says that one of the statues was struck by lightning and destroyed. Before we continue, make sure that you subscribe for our channel so you don't miss the new episodes every week. Dr. Zahi Hawass, as we found in part 1, blocked the research of Wes and Shaks and admits that many more than one tunnel exists under the bowels of the Sphinx, and that these tunnels hide many secrets about the construction of the pyramids. Up until 1998, Hawass himself conducts first-person expeditions in the tunnels under the Sphinx, but suddenly changes completely his position and direction. The project and the researchers are halted, and he claims that there is absolutely nothing under the Sphinx. Quite strange position considering all the available evidence and taking into account that literally a year ago he claimed that there was much more inside from one tunnel. He even goes far that he completely denies that there is a hole in the Sphinx, which is the entrance to one of the tunnels. Even if we hadn't seen the video, a question how he enters one of the tunnels, the story is a story, the facts are facts, which, by the way, never lie. Around 1733, researcher Charles Thomson makes notes that there is a considerable hole at the backside of the Sphinx. In 1798, the French archaeologists and artist Vivant Denon sketched the Sphinx, on which one can clearly see how one of the people comes out of a hole in the head of the Sphinx. Until the 20s of last century was made a photo of a balloon in the air of the Sphinx, where we very clearly see the hole in his head. Then what was Hawass talking about, and why he turned his direction in this way? Why he suddenly decided to give up a project that costs millions? Unfortunately, his case is not the only one when we talk about Egyptologists. In fact, some of them tell us about the mafia that controls the research and blocks the new information that appears on the official sites of Egypt. Documents show that since 1837, French engineers have made a great discovery, having found a door that leads to a corridor, and as soon as they entered, they were obstructed by energy that simply did not allow them to go forward. Something like the Samadhi caves told by Dr. Ernst Moldashev. Around the 90s, just when West and Schock are excluded from their project, another team led by German labor engineer Rudolf Gottenbracke sent a small robot equipped with a camera to explore a small tunnel in the Big Pyramid. First, in 1993, he found a wooden door with metal handles inside the tunnel. This shocked them because nowhere else so far metal was found. They wondered what is behind this door, but soon after that, Gottenbracke and his team are also halted and the project is stopped. Then, for around 10 years, according to official scientists, they developed a robot to open the door in question, and in 2003 it was released into the same tunnel. He successfully opens the door, and behind it, the narrow tunnel begins to narrow even more. The robot fails to get far, and in front of him, a new door shows up. Only in 2013 a new robot was launched in order to open the new door, but immediately after that the tourist access to the pyramid is closed and all test results are classified. What they saw, what they found, what they understood remains a mystery. Even in present days, in 2008, a researcher project entitled Expedition Mataha was started in the area of Halava, which is very close to Giza. They use specifically made radars to detect what's under the sand, and the surprise is they begin to find signs to rooms, corridors, walls, tunnels, underground huge holes measuring around 150 to 100 meters. The results of the whole research have been published in scientific journals and academic articles. While, one day without warning, the Egyptian authorities stopped the project again and even tried to hide information about the new discoveries. But what secrets do they really hide, and how will this affect our understanding of human history? If we go back to the words of Masudi, who claims to have seen the huge holes, the secret tunnels and the rooms are not the only thing they discovered. Up until then, the official version is that the Sphinx is about 4,500 years from the Khufu dynasty, but the two discovered that the erosion shows that the Sphinx is much older. Even before Sahara existed as a desert at the end of the last ice age, when heavy rains have constantly flooded the area, it is concluded that the Sphinx is at least 10,000 years old, and this exactly coincides with the prediction of the American Edgar Cayce. On the other hand, the ancient Egyptians have no records to indicate that they are the builders of the Sphinx. In fact, in 1850, a plaque was found showing that Khufu or Khafre are not the builders of the Sphinx, they only restored it, which means that it existed before them, or, as the authors Hancock and Bauval say, the Sphinx is associated with the Great Pyramid and with the Nile in such a way that it is a copy of the orientation of the stars, not just the stars today, but their arrangement about 10,000 years ago. The interesting thing is that if the Sphinx and the pyramids are more than 10,000 years old, this automatically means that they're older than the whole Egyptian civilization. According to Sumerian records, their civilization was visited by the gods coming from heaven called Anunnaki. They brought them advanced technology and knowledge, helping the growth of human civilization. In modern times, of course, many people believe that these were not ancient gods but highly developed creatures or aliens who have come to extract gold from our planet. What is the connection with the Sphinx and what hides underneath? Interesting is the fact that the version of the ancient library of wisdom under the Sphinx has existed in various eras and personalities in history. Chronicles and artifacts are not isolated cases. It seems as the information was quite ordinary and not secret and mysterious as we thought, and long ago it was available for every ancient Egyptian. But then, why was it lost, and is it really lost? In one of the ancient Egyptian treatises on the behalf of the goddess Isis, is reported that the god of wisdom, Thoth, has placed in a secret place sacred books which contain the secret of Osiris, and then made a special spell on this place so that the knowledge remained undiscovered, until heaven gives birth to beings who will be worthy of this gift. Many mystical teachings and magicians from different times have also tried to find a magical explanation of the Sphinx. Here is what says the classic of occultism Eliphas Levi in his The History of Magic. Hermes Trismegistus formulates his symbol called the emerald plate. That which is above is from that which is below, and that which is below is from that which is above, working the miracles of one. Otherwise said, one of the principle of the universe we are talking about, and you already know well, as above, so below, as below, so above. The light is Isis, the fire is Osiris or the sun, and they are the mother and father of great Horus, which is a universal substance. Hermes claims that these forces have reached its absolute manifestation at the time the earth was created, and according to many people, the four manifestations of this substance are expressed in the Sphinx. Its wings match the air, its body the ground, female breasts the water, and the lion's paws match the fire. They also say that this is the secret of three pyramids guarded by the Sphinx with square bases and triangular faces. Erecting these monuments, Egypt tried to elevate the stairs of Hercules for universal science. It is said that artifacts from the gods are kept in the secret rooms, which possess great power, and if they fall into the wrong hands, a true disaster will come for all of us. And now, on the other hand, the Sumerian civilization claims in its records that Anunnaki who arrived from the planet Nibiru have a refugee on Earth hidden in its bowels. They built huge underground cities, and in order to enter them, you need to go through a tunnel. The entrance is hidden by the sand and what they called Havana, with teeth like a dragon and face like a lion. He says that these tunnels were guarded by mechanical statues with amazing possibilities. I've seen things that man can't even imagine out of fear and doubt, but I've still seen them. The records contain data on Atlantis from the beginning of this period, when the spirit took shape and began to conquer this country, says in one of his revelations Edgar Casey, and we can make the connections ourselves. Are these some of the things hidden under the Great Sphinx in Giza? And possibly, is the unlocking of this mystery able to lead to a complete change of the human existence and our history as we know it? Maybe that's why they're so strictly guarded even to this day, and the Sphinx continues to be the guardian of deep secrets of the whole humanity. What do you think about the whole mystery? We will be extremely glad to see your comments below. We bow before you and thank you for watching another episode of Secret Origins. keep your mind open, and until we meet again.